I want to encourage everybody to not listen to this pod on Spotify. Go on YouTube, because I told Chris before we got here, like after the first, I guess, session that we had, film session, now I'm looking at my TV like naked. Robert. Like, I'm pointing stuff out where I'm just like.
Because we're learning too.
Yeah, because
like,
I'm learning too.
So, as he's doing this.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the Highway 49 podcast. We are back with episode 79 of the show, and we're back in studio, guys. Season's rolling. Charlotte 49ers are 0-2, coming off their second consecutive double-digit loss, this time in Chapel Hill this past weekend. We got our guy Chris Reynolds in the studio. We got to clap it up for you one more time, man. It's the last clap.
Happy to be here, as always.
New football analyst for the Highway 49 pod, so definitely glad to have you, man. And before we get into it, let's hit the best thing we've seen this week. Jim, you look so excited, so we're going to let you go first, man.
Best thing, if you've been listening to this pod for a while, you know there are two things I do not play about. One is movies, the other is my queen, Asia Wilson. Now, remember, I came on here and said that she played 208 consecutive games, WNBA games, which was a WNBA record. And I said, don't jinx my queen. Well, someone did jinx her, because she's in a walking boot. We don't know the specifics behind her injury, but the Aces did win the game that she got injured in. However, taking an audible. The best thing I saw this week came in the noon game on Saturday, Michigan versus Texas, the pregame. Texas was in the locker room about to run out, and there's always one designated person who has the speaker, the boombox, before in the locker room. They're blasting Set It Off by Lil Boosie. And there's like a 25-year-old woman in the front of everybody else, singing every single lyric to Set It Off by Lil Boosie. And I'm like, if she has this energy before the Michigan-Texas game, it's like, you see some things sometimes, you're like, all right, like,
it's over.
It's over, right? If she has this energy, she's like, I said it all, and then I don't. And I'm just like, yo, she's on 10 before they even kicked off. So Texas looked great. That's the best thing I've seen, just seeing that the energy wasn't just the team, wasn't just a lineman, wasn't just a quarterback or Steve Sarkisian. It went all the way down to the equipment manager. So that was the best thing I've seen all week.
How about you, man?
I would say for me, from a guy whose falls have been eaten up from playing himself for the first fall of having a full slate of collegiate football, rebounded by NFL football. So having the full slate, seeing some clean ball, sitting down on the couch, watching all these different teams run different types of schemes. The 49ers last night putting on a run game clinic. There was one time they got 11 guys in the field, and all 11 players were involved in the run game and perimeter blocking. You don't really see that as often anymore. So seeing it from a different point of view, watching football played from different types of schemes, and seeing the Niners roll, that was fun.
So you're on the couch like Leo DiCaprio, like every time.
I tell you, man, yeah, exactly. It's hard to watch it like a fan. Like, obviously, I'm still a fan. You're excited to watch games and good games, but you're saying, okay, they ran counter, they ran power, that was an RPO, like this was that. Seeing and you're always like learning. It's like being a student of the game. So it was a lot of fun. A lot of my girlfriend's getting pissed off at me every single week because it's literally on the couch, 12 to night, all day long.
Hey man, do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Hannah?
Best time of the year. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I have been without a car for like 3 months. My car decided to kick the bucket over the summer, and so I've been kind of just hitching a ride from my mom's car. She's been letting me use it, so I finally got a new used car, so that is just such a blessing. So when I'm traveling to different games, I can have my own set of wheels that I can safely drive to and from. So really excited about that. And then also I got to do Charlotte women's soccer on Sunday versus number 25 ranked Clemson. So
Nice.
Yeah, they drew, so it was 0-0. The defense was lights out. They were doing a really great job, really great before conference play, and they play USF on Thursday. So Niners fans, be sure to come out, support women's soccer. Hunter, what about you?
Definitely. I would say I'm going to go off you. Just like 5 days of great football in a row, starting with Thursday night, Ravens-Chiefs. I mean, what a game. Friday night, same thing, Philly and Green Bay. Just having a weekend where I can do nothing except watch football. Like Saturdays, as you said, like I haven't had a home Saturday in a long time. Charlotte does have 2 bye weeks this season, so that's beautiful. I have some time to get out and about. Definitely will see you around. And Yeah, just being able to, like, football is fully back, NFL is back, so yeah.
Here's a question for you. What are your thoughts on fall weddings?
Oh, that's a hot
touchy
topic,
subject.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, one of my best friends, college roommates, he's getting married in the fall. You know, and you want to talk about a guy who loves football. He loves football.
Did he tell you guys no? And he's like, hey, guys, I know this is tough,
Yeah.
but the wedding date is October 18th. You're like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I said, just don't be upset when I got YouTube TV hanging on my pocket.
So true.
Those are the best times. Though. I feel like I've always had, like, memorable experience trying to watch a game somewhere weird.
No
like
doubt.
a wedding, a Christmas party, something like
No
that.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No fall weddings. Don't invite me.
Summer.
Leave me out.
Summer wedding.
Yeah,
Might
summer,
be really hot,
spring,
but summer, spring, yeah.
I guess getting into it a little bit, no wedding this past weekend for Charlotte. That game was rough. I will say the offense looked much better. And I think that's what we should leave with. That should be a focal point of this episode. The defense, giving up 38 points. It was close in the first half, and they kind of wore down late. But, Chris, I want to open it up to you first. What were your thoughts on, like, A, the environment in Chapel Hill, B, how Charlotte looked Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, you know, it was my first time really in Carolina's stadium. I take that back, you know, because in high school I went to a Carolina away game, you know, during all the recruitment stuff and like that. Cool environment. We went to a couple bars before He's and I here.
I caught that after the game.
You went there after. Top of the Hill, and there's one other place we went to. Might as well.
Yeah.
Went there. So it's cool having some beers. A lot of green. That's what I love to see. You know, there's a lot of Carolina fans, but honestly, it's pretty even, you know, sometimes walking in there. As soon as I walked in, He's Not Here, you see Niners on the podium hanging out. So I'll tell you what, we know how to have a good time. When it came from the in-game experience, you know, there was a decent amount of people there, but I guess maybe because being a 3:30 kickoff compared to like South Carolina though. That South Carolina environment was lights out, man.
That was nuts. That was the best
I
one.
mean, the lights, the white towels, the student section was ridiculous. I mean, they were in my ear from the moment I walked out for captains. But, you know, it was cool. I loved how much green there was, though. You know, Niner Nation definitely showed out, and you can always count on that. And we know how to bring the party with us, too, which was awesome. From the game aspect, you definitely saw Mike get into his bag a little bit more, you know, which was cool to see. I was bouncing around a little bit, standing up, because I didn't like where I was sitting. It was hard to see sometimes. But from my point of view, I saw a little bit more 11 personnel, one back, one tight end stuff, instead of just two tight end sets. Because he would get in his two tight end set, but he also would go spread with the two tight end stuff, switching out the personnel. I like seeing No in the field a little bit more, adding some speed to the slot, stretching the defense vertically, and then having your big guys on the outside. It was cool to see that. Getting Colin on the outside. I saw him get into empty a few times. So making the defense think. And then I always liked, you know, getting to the empty and stuff like that because you have a really clear picture of what you're going to get from the defense. When you get into that 12 personnel stuff, obviously we're doing it for run game purposes, right? Running your powers, or power without a puller, they call it duo. And we'll get on the whiteboard here at some point and draw that stuff up for the people so they understand that stuff. But seeing him break off from that a little bit and get wide and kind of throw a change up at you because, you know, probably Carolina was planning for a little bit more downhill run. Yeah. It's throwing him a curveball will screw him up a little bit. So they're going to be a little bit more aggressive, calling in man coverage, thinking you're going to get a lot of heavy run, taking your slot fade shots with no, things like that was cool to see.
Well, that's what No said after the game, too. He said their nickel, or they had way too much confidence in their nickel, and you saw it. I mean, he beat them, I think, 4 times down the field. But you're right, though. I thought Mike Miller was definitely in his bag in this one, and it was nice to see Henry Rutledge get involved. They got the tight end screen game. That came back. That was kind of a staple last year. But first down, that was the most aggressive I've ever seen Charlotte.
Fantastic,
with
man.
Poggi on first down.
Breaking tendencies.
Yeah, 9.3 yards per play on first down, 215 of that 358. It was, I mean, third downs are a whole nother story. That's still a struggle with this offense. But seeing them trying to get ahead of the chains like that, knowing the run game struggling, I was impressed with what I saw for sure.
And it's cool, too, because from a sense of like, okay, if you were to probably do some analyzing on the past, let's say, whatever it is, 13 games of Charlotte football, right? There's probably obviously a heavy run percentage on first down.
Yep.
So everybody's doing those same analytics from every opponent. And like, okay, guys, hey, listen, like, if we stop the run on first down, make it second and long, and force them to a third and long, the percentages of the beginning of the first are going to go down. So to see that tendency break off and make the defensive coordinator like, okay, oh, shoot, they're throwing it around a little bit more, put some pressure. Next thing you know, you throw the ball on first down a few times, they might break off and do a little too high safety looks, leaving less numbers in the box, and then next thing you know, you can go back to your run game.
Yep.
Now we're playing chess, you know, so it's cool to see that for Charlotte football. Now Gardner Webb's like, okay, what are they going to do this week?
Yep.
You know, type of deal.
And that's part of it, man. I guess we get into it now. Max Brown is kind of the big storyline of the week right now. He left the game, I guess, about 6 minutes left in the second quarter, took a fall, landed on his throwing hand, and some kind of thumb issue with the throwing hand. Biff Poggi says week to week. I want to ask you, you played the game. You had a lot of shoulder stuff. If something happens to that throwing hand, what changes for you? Because I was watching him try and grip the ball on the sideline, and he couldn't even do it.
I mean, because 2021, I had a finger issue. Mm-hmm. I missed Western Kentucky because of it. It was my ring finger. So it depends on what the finger is, obviously. You know, for me, it was really I couldn't pronate all the way through. Now, if it's the thumb's a little bit tough, right? Because you're gripping the ball from the bottom. This is your kind of like if you're holding a ball, you always want your fingernails on top and your thumb on the bottom. If you can't grip the ball from underneath, it's going to be hard to have any type of control. Yeah. Hands are difficult, man. It's just like, oh, he just hurt his hand. Well, it's very important, obviously, for a quarterback. Throwing with more accuracy, controlling the football, even on handoffs, right? Read option, things of that nature. It gets tricky. So it's one of those week-to-week things. You got to feel it out and see what happens.
Definitely. And, I mean, losing Max was big, right? He was 8 for 12 for, I think, 175 yards at that point in the game. They had a couple long drives, got into the red zone and stalled out, and that was really kind of the difference in the game. I mean, DeShawn comes in the second half. I keep wanting to call him Brock Purdy just because the Niners in general. But DeShawn comes in the second half, leads a touchdown drive, and then you kind of see it stall out after that. And that was the difference in the game, was the offense kind of stagnating in the second half. Jeremy, Biff talked about it some today. What were kind of your thoughts on Biff's takeaways from the presser?
Yeah, I mean, he said they were 2 for 14 on third down, and he's like, we can't be in third and longs if we want to win. That's just not a formula for success, you know. And it's great that Chris just mentioned like being aggressive on first down, and it opens up the playbook. And I kind of want to ask you this question, like, as a QB, you mentioned like the NFL, and you're seeing all these different schemes, and you're seeing the 49ers, you know, have one play where everybody's involved in the run. As a QB, you hear like you know, maybe you want to pass more as a QB. You want to do this more as a QB, and O-linemen want to run more. But how reassuring is it for you as a QB knowing, like, hey, we can get the run whenever we want, because it opens up so much things and kind of allows you to, like you say, let the offensive coordinator get in their bag more?
I would say this, you know, when you go through film study, you know, so this was my schedule on Sundays, I'm watching the game before, and I'm watching 2 games of the future opponent, okay? Then on Mondays, I'm watching all first and second downs. So your base looks, okay, how are they going to line versus our 1 tight end sets? How are they going to line versus our 2 tight end sets? Who's coming in? Because if we're going to put bigger people in, guess what they're going to do? Put bigger people in. They might sub the nickel out, which is another safety, and put another linebacker. How are they going to line to 2x2? How are they going to line to 3x1? How are they going to get to how are they going to line to our snug type of formations? So for me, once you have an idea of what they're going to do on that first and second down, going into the game, you know what type of beaters you have. So, for example, if they're a cover 4 team, 2 safeties, softer corners, right, versus like kind of like a deeper man, they want to load the box with 3 linebackers, so a 4-3 cover 4 look. We know that we're going to have, hey, if we want to run the ball, we have these types of runs. But if we want to throw the ball on first down, we have our gift hitches on the outside.
JMU game plan right there.
Yeah, right. We can do we can work our glance game from the inside, things of that nature. So you're always going to have a plan, right? And knowing that your offensive coordinator is going to give you a little bit of both keeps the defense on their toes too. Then falling back to your film study, on your Tuesdays, you're going to have your third down red zones, right? On Wednesdays, you're going to have your pressures. You can identify certain things on all these different downs. So seeing the opportunity, like, okay, we're going to attack their first down run looks and also attack their first down pass looks was very important. Now you're putting a pressure on that, like I said, on that defensive coordinator to make a decision. Like, how are we now? You're going to roll down to cover 3 and add more people in the box for the run, or now that we have attacked the run on first down or attacked the pass game on first down, now you're going to run 2 safeties the next time. Guess what we're going to do? Now we're going to run the ball. You know.
So for DeShawn Purdie, true freshman, probably going to be starting in this Gardner-Webb game. Biff talks about third and longs. What is, and you always hear third and manageable, third and short. What is like the exact yardage on that? When does that long turn into a manageable, turn into a short? And if you're the offense for Charlotte going into this Gardner-Webb game, if you are in third down, what do you want that yardage to be? 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5?
I always thought that 3rd and manageable, right? So I like to say like it's 3rd down, we better get it, is like 3rd and 2 and lower. You know what I mean? 3rd and manageable to me is about that 3rd and 7 to shorter range. Now we have an opportunity to do a couple things. If we're past the 40, the opposite 40, now we're in 4-down territory. So in 3rd and 7, we can still run the ball, get us to a 4th and 3. Then we're going to say, hey, you better get this 4th and 3. When you get into that 3rd and 8+ range, it gets a little bit tricky. From the point of view, like, okay, now they're going to run their 2-mans, their Tampa 2 looks, trying to take care of the pass. They're going to do their twists on the inside. They're going to stunt the defensive lineman, give you different types of blitzes, simulated pressures, meaning they're going to show one thing, blitz from the other side, roll safeties all crazy ways, making it harder on a quarterback. So you don't want to make it that much harder on your players, right?
So how much does the playbook shrink between 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 5?
So how it works is usually going into a game on your game plan, you're going to have like your 3rd down calls. And it's like, okay, here's my 3rd and 8+ calls, and you only have so many. You know what I mean? You can't. There's no magic plays. It's either you're going to manage the 3rd down or you're not going to manage the 3rd down. So sometimes your 3rd and 8, you might have, say, 5 or 6 scripted just in case. I mean, and they're always going to be lower percentage analytically, right? Then it's like, okay, can I make something happen if I don't get the look that I want on the second play, scrambling, right, on a run, things of that nature. But your 3rd and 7, the 3rd and 3, you have a whole bag of plays because now when you get to that 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 range, you might get a little bit more man coverage. Right, then you get to that 3rd and 7 range, you still might get zone. So you have a full bag of tricks, okay? When I've watching film, when you get to that 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7, they like to go back to a little bit of their base looks, or they might give you that simulated pressure type of stuff. But guess what? Now you're playing simulated pressure. Now I can take a 5-yard hook now and turn up for 2 more. Granted, like if you were 3rd and 9, you can't do that, right? Yeah. Then you can also have your man beaters if you're in 3rd and 4. So you have more opportunities to call different types of things from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 3 than what you can do from 3rd and 8 and higher,
Definitely. Yeah, I think we might as well just get into the game, into the game film now. No, you're good. I liked it. Real fast, DeShawn Purdie, true freshman, 6'4" guy from Baltimore. We talked to him a little bit briefly at practice. That they haven't made him available to the media though. Biff Poggi says the team loves this guy. He's always walking around with a smile on his face. You love to hear that. And he actually broke a record that wasn't even yours. I was shocked. Wow. He's a true freshman to throw a touchdown.
Good for him.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Good for him.
Any passing record broken, I'm like, it's Chris? No, it's not.
Good for him. That's awesome.
But yeah, I guess let's get into it, guys. We'll get this pulled up, and we'll be back.
Are you ready to elevate your school spirit? Look no further than onecampusco.com. Whether you're in the classroom, on the field, or cheering from the stands, we're dedicated to bringing academics, athletics, alumni, and fans together. Founded by our alumni-owned parent company, One Chapter, in 2021, we recognize the need for quality apparel at reasonable prices and created a shopping experience that connects fans with their university. Join us in showcasing your pride and giving back to your community. With onecampusco.com, you're not just a student, athlete, or fan, you're part of a vibrant family. Together, let's celebrate what makes our university special. Visit us at www.charlotte.onecampusco.com using promo code HWY49 for 10% off.
All right, let's get into the fun stuff. So Chris Reynolds here, breaking it down, Max Brown and DeShawn Purdie clips. Let's see it.
All right, let's do it. So let's look at the situation here. Down 3-0, 10 minutes left in the second, 1st and 10, okay? So this is what we're talking about. I like this, an opportunity to go on first down and get into empty. All right, so now, like I said earlier with empty, now you really are making the defense show their cards, okay? There's only so much you can disguise because everything is spread out because they all now have to get to their responsibilities faster because of all the space they have to defend. So here they're showing you kind of like a too-high shell, right away. And from this look, I can't tell you if anybody's going to be able to roll, meaning I don't know if this safety's going to be able to roll down and him insert, because if so, you would think somebody would want to pressure. So in this look, I don't think anybody's going to be able to pressure from this depth, okay? So let's take a look. So if I'm quarterback, right, we're in 3 men to the field and 2 guys to the boundary. And I'm immediately, okay, it's middle open zone. So as a quarterback, whenever you're going through pass game, you're kind of going through your check boxes, right? So I'm looking at this, okay, is it middle open zone, is it middle closed zone, or is it man? So first thing first, zone or man? Okay, it's zone. All right, is it too high zone or what? All right, to me it's too high zone, so what's my too high zone beater, okay? So let's look at the concept. Great ball. Okay, so they're running some type of we call it, the Patriots love to call it juke Y-Hoss, okay? It was a type of way, this is a different way of doing it though, okay? So both outside receivers are running a hitch, okay? Gift hitches, bang, 5 yards turnaround. These guys right here, your number 2 receivers, are running kind of like a seam special. And what I mean by that is this. Some teams do it as a locked slot fade, and some teams give you options. So to me, what this looks like is that if there's 2 high safeties, his job is to wrap the low defender and bend into the middle of the field open window. Run the space pretty much with depth. If it's 1 high zone, we're going to stay in the seams because that's a vulnerable area in 1 high cover 3 looks, okay? Then if it's man, we're thinking slot fade, home run, right? I don't know if you guys watch Hard Knocks, right? But Malik Neighbors in his interview was like, or Jaden Daniels just said, hey, if they give you man on the slot fade, what do you think? And he said touchdown. Yeah. You know, instead of saying I'm throwing it to him, he said touchdown because it is a touchdown throw. All right, so Max does a great job here. So not only are they getting the 2 high, they're getting the Tampa 2, okay? So this is old Mr. Coach Kiffin, right? Lane Kiffin's father, all right? Monty Kiffin. He created the Tampa 2 coverage. He's the originator. So you're going to get the cover 2, then your Mike linebacker, which is your middle linebacker, is going to take the middle of the field. All right, why is he opening up to this side? Because there's 3 receivers. So he's opening up to the strength. So Max does a great job of recognizing it's Tampa 2. They're pushing the Tampa Mike to the 3 receiver side. So you say, okay, where's my numbers now? To the boundary in the middle of the field, open window. Ball. Great job. Great recognition. Great understanding of the concept. 2 high zone, right? I'm going to take my seam special to the boundary. Okay, great job. And let's look at his feet, too. So this is the way the game's going nowadays. It used to be, hey, you're going to take your full 3-step drop. You're going to take your full 3-step drop and take a hitch. You're going to take your full 3-step drop, take a hitch, and then reset to this. So it's turning into a lot of slide footwork. You're going to punch with your first step. So a lot of people with their left foot. So his left foot's up. Restart it. His left foot's up, and he's going to punch with his first left foot. To me, that's a cheat step. I'm going to see what the defense is doing. Okay, I'm going to snap, punch. Okay, I'm going to see what they're doing. All right, I cheat it. 2 high safety look. All right, I'm confirming it. Then from there, he's getting to a slide to add some depth. And what it does, it allows him to keep his back foot under him. Yep. All right, because sometimes we get to our 3-step drop, our right foot gets a little bit wide, right, and we're kind of out of rhythm. We can't use our rotational power anymore with our hips. So overall, on a grading sheet, he's getting a plus, double plus. Great job. Very important. So 1st and 10, we'll take a 20-yard gain. Bang, move the chains. Let's rock.
Can you talk about the timing of that throw as well, too?
100%.
Because the safety's up top. You got to slide it into that small window. Mm-hmm. It's got to come out at the perfect time.
So what I call that route is called a bender because we're bending into cover 2. So with interior routes, like you have your slant, right? You have your 5-step glance, which is basically a 5-step slant. Then you have your bender. To me, it's either you can take a smooth rhythm 3 or a quick slide, like a punch and a slide like he did. So you have to be on time. It's one of those things, if you wait a little bit longer, you're getting other guys involved. So the ball's going to be out before he even breaks. So he should be throwing that ball when he's on the right side of that low defender, that hook curl defender, okay? So let's check it out. Ball's out, and he hasn't even crossed face.
And then it's not, you always hear people sometimes talk about hospital balls, but he put it in a position where the safety isn't able to deliver a big blow, right? He down and away a little bit to protect his receiver as well.
And we call that type of throw an anticipatory throw. We're anticipating that window. You can't, in college Division I football, you can't throw the ball to that window when it's already there. Yeah. That's late. You know, you have to understand the coverage and throw it before we get to that window. And you do that through film study and preparation. Yep. You know? Ball. Great job. Great catch, too.
Sean Brown.
Shawnee B. What a guy. All right, what we got next? All right. So let's take a look here. All right, so here, let me just confirm. Yeah, okay. So they're running like a boundary glance like we talked about a second ago. So your single receiver is running a 5-step glance, okay, 5-step slant pretty much, okay? These guys, so traditional stick, right, is fade, 4-step out, and then a hook-up hitch option, okay? So if it's a man, he's running basically an out that chops down. If it's zone, right, if you have an outside leverage guy, you're hooking up for a hitch. If you have zone and you have an inside leverage guy, you're kind of hooking up, turning over your outside shoulder. So this concept, they're kind of switching the responsibilities of these 2 guys. Bang, just like that. So he's running a hitch, and he's hitting a slot fade, okay? Giving more opportunity, right, for a man coverage beater, slot fade with your super fast guy, right? Putting your guys in a good position, right? So, and then on boundary, like I said, you have your 5-step glance. So let's look at what they're doing. It's 3rd and 7. What did we talk about? They're going to give you kind of your weird coverage looks, right? 3rd and 7. It's right on that kind of fringe, all right? So Try to stop this as soon as I can. I just want to be able to show you guys the top of this.
And the hood.
In the hood. My dog's trying to be. All right, pause. So they're bringing pressure from the field, okay? So in this protection, so you have 4 down linemen, right? An outside backer, your Mike, then your nickel, and your nickel's like your extra safety, okay? If they wanted a bigger body, they would take the nickel out and put their Sam linebacker in. If you had 2 tight ends, example, right? So if they're bringing 2 guys, they have to drop an opposite guy, and they have to replace him by inserting people or bailing somebody from inside the box. So 2 guys are going. This is one of the most common pressures in college football. We call it the NCAA blitz. 2 A's for 2 blitzers, and everybody runs it in NCAA, okay? So 2 pressures, and they're going to cop this middle backer and help to the 3 receiver side. So let's look at the snap. Let's look at the rotations of the safety. Boom, snap. See the safety rotate to the middle of the field. So Max has 2 options here. He's got one, the golden rule of, hey, let's replace our blitzers. Or we can work rotation. They rotate down to the field, so now we can work our boundary glance and replace there. Okay? So he works the glance here and throws it on time. Perfect. Perfect. Okay? The reason why he can get away with that, because the glance timing allows you to beat pressure. Now, if it was like a 15-yard comeback, right, or even sometimes a go ball with soft man, it's harder to do things like that. But understanding the concept that a glance will be able to handle that pressure is perfect. I wouldn't be mad if he replaced the blitzer, and I wouldn't be mad if he threw that ball, you know?
And he takes a shot.
He takes a shot, and that's from the pressure. We'll show you the back view in a second. Who's this player right here?
Zay Myers.
Great play. Way to get in the box. Great job, Max. That was his first touchdown pass as a Niner?
Yeah.
Great job. Look at him. Look
The
at the
Niner
folks.
Nation.
Look at the folks. I love it. All right, back view. Okay, so now this is great. So here's the 2 guys coming from the field. Here's your man bailing from the boundary. And then you're going to notice from your boundary guy that one of them's going to bail out to take care of that zone area because they're going to be outnumbered otherwise, okay? So this is why I love football, okay? It's like a puzzle, okay? So you have 5 offensive linemen and you have 1 running back helping in protection. But if you don't slide them the right way, doesn't matter how many guys they bring, if they beat your type of slide, you're screwed. So this is a great job. So they give you a 4-man slide to the left. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then your running back is responsible for everybody on the boundary side or any other exterior pressure. So let's watch what happens here. So the extra guy is not handled, right? So somebody's wrong here from a sense of pass protection. This is why in practice you do a bunch of PBU, blitz pickup periods. So now it's different. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if the quarterbacks handle it in Charlotte. Sometimes the center handles it. It depends on who the coordinator is and who the offensive line coach is. In my last 3 years, I handled all protections. So I'm checking protections. If I see somebody blitzing from the front side, I can switch it, etc. So this is a great job of Max understanding he's hot. He's got a free pressure, and the ball's got to come out. And he knows it's got to come out, but he's going to take a hit, too, while he's at it.
Yeah.
Great job, man. I mean, that's high-quality football.
That's Zay Myers' first D1 touchdown as well.
Beautiful.
Oof,
I love it.
it's a hell of a ball.
4th and 5, right?
Yeah.
So 4th and 5, what's the ideology of a defense, right? Play the sticks,
Yep.
right? You beat me deep, right? But you're not going to sit down in a 6-yard route and beat me there. You know, it's hard to get. So it looks like they're running just drive, okay? For the viewers, drive is some type of dig shallow concept from the boundary or one side of the field. And you can change whatever you want to do on this side. You can do like a slot fade, which we do with your hitch. We can do like spend no on a 4-step out with your circus corner, right? You can run true smash, which is a hitch and a corner. There's multiple ways, but it's a right to left read or a left to right read. So field to boundary. So Max's first call is like, okay, I'm going to look to the field if I like what I have. So if it was like the flat route type of look, we might think of a different coverage. But if this is a slot fade, he's like, okay, if it's man, I want my slot fade.
Yeah.
You got to have a plan before you even snap the ball. And it's 4th and 5. We get man coverage. He's like, all right, I'm going to take my shot. Ball. And then on your boundary, you have your shallow dig concept for any type of zone. So if you get a zone look you don't like, you can move your eyes to your shallow to your dig. I love the concept. We ran a lot of this when I was there. Multiple ways to do it, multiple ways to disguise it, different ways you can motion to it. A lot of fun.
Can you talk about that route by 3? Because a quick out, if you go back to like where right here, quick out's not going to get you that first down.
No, because we're out leveraged.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right? If he runs a 4-step out, guess what? Because look, what do we have here? An extra guy helping, right?
Yeah.
Almost like a robber type of look, but he's looking to double for any interior route. So he knows he has help inside, so why would he line up inside?
Exactly.
Right? So let's go outside. The thing that No-Nos does a great job here is using his speed, one, but attacking leverage, right? Forcing him to make a decision. So I'm going to put stress. I'm going to step on his toes, then break it high, okay? Because if he went early, so if he tried to break to slot fade, so here's what it usually would look like. Slot fade, right? Get a little bit of width, give you opportunity to drop it over the shoulder. If he breaks it here, guess what he's going to do? He's going to wall him. He's going to grab him, wall him to the sideline. It's a dead throw, right? It's going to throw everything. But No steps on his toes. I know it's hard to see. Forces him to open his hips, creating an opportunity for the outside shoulder throw. The kid's got speed, man.
Yeah.
He's been like that since he got there in 21, playing as a true freshman. And he's a great human being as well.
Yeah. His brother's on the team now, too.
Yeah, it's so cool. Yeah. Something special about playing with your brother. Great job. All right, so this is traditional Y cross. All right, a Mike Leach special, RIP. So air raid type of deal, West Coast principles. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna run a fade. We're gonna run kind of an option route. There's multiple ways you can do it, kind of like we were talking about a second ago on the front side of the concept. But the traditional way is fade, like an option versus leverage, so you can go out, in, or sit. Then you're under Sam, so getting under one linebacker, climbing over another linebacker, get across the field, and then you can have a dig or a hook curl or a post, whatever you want to do, okay? So he looks at a boundary first, does his job, boom, confirms, right? Do I like my option? Okay, we have a bailing defense, or it looks like a linebacker, right? Giving us kind of a cloudy look. And the rule is if you're unsure, move on, all right? Don't force anything. You have more options, okay? So we'll see what the options look. I like the idea to sit here because you have guys inside out. Maybe we can turn out, then hook it up. I don't know what's being coached. I could go multiple ways. Everybody coaches different things. So cool, we don't like it. Reset the eyes over the middle and throw it into the window between the linebackers.
Oh.
Ball. Great anticipatory throw.
Back it up real fast. Watch Teron Kelman on the blitz pickup here. In my opinion, he makes this play. Keeps this play alive. Tailback.
So let's talk about it too, protection. All right, so they give you a 5-down look. Okay, 5 down. So if I'm the quarterback, right, or the center, whoever's making the call, I'm saying, hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0, or big, big, big. Meaning all the big guys are taking the 5 for 5. Well, easy money. 1 to 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the running back was responsible for the floater, which is right here. Yep. Right? Simple. All right. Look at him. And that's how they block it. Yeah. Right? Great job. Perfect. And that's the difference between a good running back and a great running back, right? A lot of people can run the ball, right? That's why they recruit you. But if you want to go play in the NFL, play at the next level, you better show you can pass protect, right? Because that's half the game, you know? Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Kennan had a little spin move with him.
Yeah, give him a little wiggle.
Boy, Bryce. What a hard worker that guy is, man. The whole tight end room is. Nice with the screen. You know what makes a good screen? A good understanding with eyes and feet. Look at the tempo of Max's feet. Tell me if you can tell the difference before he even throws it. You would think before that, before he even looks at Colin, that's drop back, right? Forcing, and it also takes a good offensive line to understand they really got to sell 1 Mississippi, 2, then get out. They can't bail early because what's a defensive lineman going to do? He's going to retrace back, right, and screw it up. The next thing, the quarterback's got to dump it at the feet. They do a great job there selling it all and getting it to one of their playmakers in Colin.
And this was a staple last year. They completely went away from it in week 1. I was glad to see it come back.
Boom, here, 1 Mississippi, 2, get out. Bang, perfect. Great ball positioning, 2, put it on his upfield shoulder, get loose, Colin. Attaboy. Attaboy, Colin. It's cool seeing all the guys that, when they came in as a freshman and I'm a senior and seeing them grow into these guys. It's so fun to watch.
Now they're impact players.
Yep. All right, so a little cross ball motion. giving us a tell. They give you a little boogity from the lineman, right? They boogity down. I used to be that.
Daryl Walter
Yeah.
Tall.
A little boogity. All right, and then they're creating a void, and they're going to walk down the extra guy, right? So a lot of times people try to do it not only like to change the front, but also to make you jump. Right? A lot of guys will go, move, causing the center or somebody to flinch when everybody moves too. You know, everybody's so giddy, they want to run the play. You know, good job of holding their water here. And they give you kind of a press look on our outside guy. So you can go zone on the inside, you can go man on the outside. So there's multiple ways to play coverage nowadays. They can bump things off. They keep outside leverage on your slot receivers. They call that 3 match and then play man on the outside. Multiple ways to do things. But for me, if I'm looking at them, like, okay, I got a one-on-one look to my field, right, depending on concept. So what they do, it looks like they run kind of like a special. I don't know what they're trying to do here. They could create like a seam or a bender that turns into a go versus man, or it could be just a straight go. I'm not sure. But on the film, he's running a go, okay? So they run the go, and it looks like Colin is running kind of like an out that turns into a wheel based on the film, okay? Boom, ball. And this is Max, right? So sometimes, man, when you got the personnel, you know, and you want to throw a go ball, that's the time to do it. Sometimes it's low percentage, but guess what? Those percentages go out when you go up when you have a dude, right? When Granted Bowes was lined up one-on-one, guess what I'm doing?
They fly.
We used to have a tempo, right? Like tempo 10, we call it a Bama or Cali, whatever it is. And if there's a one-on-one shot, bail on the run, throw the fade. Okay. If it misses, it misses. I'm going to do it again.
And if he doesn't catch it, there might be a flag.
There might be a flag, right? Give your guy a chance. Great freaking throw here. So let's look at the concept of the boundary. They're giving you kind of like a spacing look, meaning they're going to have 2 hook routes. So hook here. All right, he's going to motion. He's going to hook on the outside, hook in, back in the arrow, right? So me, what I'm thinking, I think this is your man side. That's your zone side. Yeah. Or it could be this is your 1 high side, and that's your 2 high side. Multiple ways to go about it. But it's just him understanding where the ball needs to go based on coverage with a beautiful ball.
After this game, I can't imagine J.R. sees a lot of man-to-man looks moving forward.
Great job, no. I see you rocking that number 3, cuz. Great job, Max. Man, he's such a pure thrower of the football. So rotational. Keeps his head completely still through the throw. All right, here's the big guy. My man, Purdie. All right, true freshman.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get harder than this, right? You're in Carolina. You're one big game of the year. And he's thrown into action, getting it done. All right, so we're back at empty, right? Kind of like what we saw in the first JMU clip. They're running the same play, all right? You remember when I said that, hey, like they're running benders that could turn into something else? So what are they getting to? They're getting to 1 high safety look, right? And it looks like man coverage. So those benders are clear to the middle of the field. They don't need to go to the middle of the field anymore. It's man, so let's go win the go ball. So what do? Your outside receivers run go balls, right? Perfect. I love the concept. I love getting an empty because you know what they're going to do, okay? I can say it 100 times. I used to beg all the times that, hey, man, can we get more empty this week? Not so I can chuck it around, just because I know what they're going to be in. Every time I don't have to think as much, you know? A lot of players just don't want to think. They want to play fast. Yeah. When you're thinking, you can't play fast, you know? So based on the look at all the DBs, right? Where are their eyes? It's man, right? So what I'm doing, right? I'm 3rd and 8, and they're giving me man. Throwing a go ball.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Sweet. Worst case scenario, I get PI.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'll go down swinging like that. But we have a freshman quarterback in there. He sees a soft opportunity because your corner is about 8 yards off, trying to take a hitch with your big body, one of your playmakers. I'm cool with that. But what did we say on those 3rd downs and 4th downs? They're going to play the sticks.
Yep.
Right. Their weights can be kind of on their toes. We call that catch technique because when they try to run through you, they're going to try to get their hands on you, right? They have an because they know the ball's going to come out. So going forward, probably next time he would throw the soft fade,
They try to rip Colin's head off right
Yeah,
here.
man. It gives you Jason Witten vibes.
Yeah.
The video where he takes his helmet off. Look at that hair. Colin, you got some good hair, man. Look at that hair whipping through there.
Drop the hair routine.
Love it. Eye Black game is on point. Big body Colin. All right, so they're running that same play we saw earlier that Max threw, the go ball with the wheel and the spacing route. Let's take a look. All right, so they give you kind of a man look to the field, right? So he's looking for that shot. So we take it inside release here. So now they're starting to learn. They give you kind of 2 guys on top of no. All right, cool. It's kind of like 2-man. But who does no, and man, sometimes in man coverage, and especially 2-man, right? Nobody has the quarterback. Yeah. Right? Because now you have an extra guy in defense, so that takes one guy less of a responsibility somewhere else, and that's the quarterback. So Purdie naturally finds a way to escape the pocket, use his big body, and get a first down. Does that look like a true freshman to you? Because it doesn't look like a true freshman to me.
No, that kid completely.
He's going to be special, you know? Hopefully he's not, save me a few things in the books, all right, pal? Playing a little too early, all right? Boundary pressure, right? We said earlier, like a lot of teams in college like to bring 4 from a side, like 2 blitzers from a side. Just man coverage, one-on-one, throw it to your fast guy. Man, that is an absolute dot.
Yeah.
And that is a strong arm, fellas. Punch 1, 2, 3. Falling backwards a little bit. Looks kind of a little Jordan Love-ish.
Yeah, back foot, letting it flow.
Back foot, keeps his chest back, head still, being rotationary.
Ball. Where his receiver can get it, too.
We call that a ball.
So
Fantastic.
Can you touch on true freshmen? Of course, is Gardner-Webb going to maybe think, hey, let's try and disguise some stuff to kind of throw him off pre-snap?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in Canada, whenever a rookie goes in, like when I come in, you know what their first response is? Blitz the hell out of him.
Yeah, don't give him time to process anything.
Yeah, blitz the hell out of him. Put it on him. Make a play. Because I don't want that rookie to be comfortable back there. Yeah. Put it on him. But, maybe with a bigger body, they don't want to do that. Yeah. We'll see. All right, so they're running a little inside zone with a fly motion across ball. So we fly motion one for man zone tendencies, maybe a man pulling a guy out of the way for man for the run game. And also we create leverage for our guys. So if we can get the lateral backers a little bit, lateral stretch, it makes the double teams easier to block off. Because if they're stationary, they're stronger. If we can get them on their heels a little bit or widen a little bit, it makes it a little bit easier on the push. Okay, so they're running inside zone with split zone look by Bryce, bluffing the end, so not sealing him like we talked about last time, but bluffing him and getting to the flat. So now instead of blocking the end, guess what we're going to do? We're going to read the end. All right. So a little sprinkle to it too is that Colin is going to run a corner with the arrow, with the split zone. Okay. So if the corner falls off after the end crashes to take Colin, what are we going to do? Throw it over his head to the corner. He'll be naked. Okay. So split zone, what's the guy end man on the line of scrimmage do? He crashes, right? Great job by Bryce not getting collision too much. It doesn't get easier than that, right? And if for some reason the corner falls off, what do we got? Colin in the end zone. Great job. Congratulations. This is his first touchdown?
One of them,
right?
If not his first. Yeah.
Big time, man. That's a big deal. In Carolina, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
What is he, 17 years old, 18 years old? I was playing this game here when I was 23. My boy Bryce. Look at the boys. Hey! There he is.
We know that guy.
Hold on. Get over here, kid. There he is. The Moon Man. Moon Man. Jackie Moon. There he is. Trexler. Hey, Trex. What's going on, buddy? And the big man. Look at him with the headset. Man, he really does look 17 in the face, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's hard to see. But, man, he's got a strong arm. Good job. There's a funny video, guys. I got to show you guys it. After the Georgia State win in 2022, after the 2-minute drill, I'm excited. And you see Jack behind me, like, yeah. It's one of the best. He's like, that's big bro, man. It's one of the best videos ever. I'm gonna have to bring it next time.
Grant hit the night on that one.
Yeah, he did. Happens, right? We'll talk about the play first. So it's one of those fake outside zones, right? So what we're doing, right? Who has the running back in man? Usually a linebacker, all right? So if we can get the running back or the linebacker to sit for that 1/2 a second off a play fake because he's going to fit for run downhill, next thing you know, you bluff the handoff, and while the back's got momentum, he leaks to the flat. That's that 1-2 yards you need for what? A 4th and 1 conversion.
Yep.
It's one of the most red zone and short yardage common plays out there, right? We ran it all the time. We called it Canada, right? False Canada. Boom, true Canada going the other way. They're doing it right here. I think it's a great concept. I love the play call because everybody's going to be pinching downhill too, trying to stop the run. Boom, we might have an opportunity to throw that, right? That's our one, right? We might have an opportunity to do that. It kind of might look a little fishy from the other side viewpoint, but, I know how fast Henry Rutledge is.
Yeah.
Kid can move. He's electric. I loved playing with him. I think I remember at the Conference USA convention or the media day out in Texas, I was like, who's going to be a big surprise here? Henry Rutledge, because the guy is just so electric when you put the ball in his hands. So when we're throwing to the right, if we don't get our right foot turned, right? So if I don't want to pull this off, but if I'm running, say these are my feet, and if I don't get my right foot turned like this to create my hips in disassociating the upper body from the lower body, we're going to end up taking all of our momentum to the sideline, creating a sail aspect.
Yeah.
So, but if we turn our right foot, like I'm doing right now, you can't see on the camera, now I'm creating my upper body to be separated from my lower body. This is creating torque.
Yeah.
So now I can get my chest through the throw to my target, creating a more accurate throw.
Yeah.
If my toes are to the sideline, where are my hips? Sideline.
Yeah.
So it makes it a lot harder on us to get an accurate throw because now I can't get my chest turned all the way. We drop our elbow, sail.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a lot harder to do when you have somebody in your face, right? And this takes practice and real-time reps because I promise you, your adrenaline's going a little bit faster. He's moving a little bit faster. Can't even realize it. And that's the difference between an accurate throw and an inaccurate throw. And he's got a strong arm, man. Like, the kid's got a strong arm, so things like this might happen. Look at Anthony Richardson, right? Do you guys see that dang throw he made the other day?
Gosh.
That was.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was nasty.
When he was at the Manny Camp, guys, we were throwing posts, and, everybody's throwing their posts. And Anthony Richardson, I'm not kidding, and went over the lights when he lost the ball in the air. It was the craziest thing I've been a part of. One of the nicest human beings in the world, though. This is just creating a play right here, guys. This is the last one, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope I'm not being too long-winded today, but I just love football. God,
I think it's great.
I love football. Oh, my God. All right, so we're running kind of a little snag concept to the boundary. So sit, dig, back on an arrow, okay? Slant, arrow, all right? So it's 4th and 5. They're kind of running a soft man, kind of like that look when Nona ran a slot fade. Safety shaded to the field with outside leverage on your number 2 receiver. All right, so for me, all right, so like I said earlier, you got to have a plan. I'm thinking one of two things. I'm going to work my slant versus man, or I'm hoping for a pick opportunity for my running back because what coverage is it? It's man. This guy's running a sit route. We might be able to pick a linebacker off for 5 yards. So you got to. It's with this type of concept. It's pick a side, work a side, or it could be coached. It's pure progressive, quick eyes to the field, work our interior dig route, then to the back. But since it's man, I'm usually going to have my man answer, right? So he has an opportunity here, possibly to bang the slant, ball, right? There's an opportunity there, be on time. Or we can work that running back, right? Hoping for a pick route, a pick opportunity for the linebacker. The linebacker doesn't even go out. So linebacker is M8.
Yeah.
Look at Henry. He's wide open, right? So one of those two. But, worst comes to worst, if you can create 2 plays within 1 play, you're a superstar. You can make things happen for a long time. Purdie makes it happen, maneuvers the pocket a little bit, finds the guy who's electric with the football in his hands, Henry Rutledge.
Please use him more.
I know they got a whole lot of backs, but it's cool that they, even like in the punt returns and stuff, he gets opportunities back there because you never know what can happen when he has the ball, man. Yeah. Electric. Love my man Henry. I'm proud of him. Former walk-on. Always have love for the former walk-ons. Stud. But there's a talk, guys.
I want to encourage everybody to not listen to this pod on Spotify. Go on YouTube because I told Chris before we got here, like after the first, session that we had, film session, now I'm looking at my TV like naked. Robert. I'm pointing stuff out where I'm just like.
Because we're learning too.
Yeah, because I'm learning too. So,
as he's doing this.
Absolutely. So, this was great. And then I want to go back to the presser that we were talking about today. And we had Sean Brown in that presser, and I kind of wanted to hold that story for now. Mm-hmm. Like, you said you had a great story with Sean Brown about how he joined the team and how your relationship with him grew. Can you share with us that story real quick?
Yeah, man. So I trained with Anthony Boone, all right, who is a former Duke quarterback. He runs quarterback country in North Carolina. And me and Boone have grown super close. I help him coach at Myers Park now. He's turning into family for me. But back in 2021, I was training, and he does all of his sessions in Weddington. We were doing a little college session. And he said, hey, Chris, like take a look at this guy. Throw around, see what you think. Like, just tell me what you think. So this tall, lanky, big guy runs around. He's running backline digs in the red zone, reaching up, plucking it out of the air, running red zone fades. I throw him a post, and he's running like a deer. I'm like, all right, I want to try and overthrow this guy, and I can't overthrow him. He's getting it done. He's such a super nice guy. I'm like, okay. He goes, hey, man, it might be a guy you might want to bring on. I said, oh, absolutely. So I immediately, I didn't even go home. I went straight to the office, sat down with Carney and Parks, and said, hey, guys, like, I got a walk-on guy that'd be willing to walk on. It's from UNC Pembroke. Look at his tape, and let's bring him in. And he goes, they didn't even look. They're like, all right, let's do it. I trust you. Like, let's go do this thing. And to see his growth and to see him making plays now, so awesome. You know, this whole college football thing, man, everybody thinks, like, you know, if you're a good player, you can just go in there and play. There's a lot more to it. You got to understand the game at a high level, right? You got to be able to make plays and contested catches, right? You got to be able to run with speed, because you might see the fastest player in the world on the track. They might not relate to football speed because they can't figure it out, right? And to see Sean go in there and make plays as a third-year guy from being a walk-on from the streets of Weddington is all kudos to him. This wasn't a me thing, guys. I'm not trying to make like, hey, I brought this. No, this is all because of Sean Brown and his work ethic.
Yeah.
And when we want to talk about good human beings, the most humble and nice person in the world. You're never going to find Sean in a bad mood. If you want somebody to chop it up with, you chop it up with Sean Brown, because he'll give you a great time. You're never going to find him in a bad mood. Super happy, great person, great family. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. It's so cool to see him succeed, right? And he's going to keep growing.
Definitely. We'll plug some audio from here now. I asked him about just what you talked about playing with that joy today at the presser.
You play with like a type of joy, like you're laughing and joking around all the time with your teammates. When did that start for you, or has it always been like that? And what does that mean to you?
You can go back and ask some coaches about me. I've always been a nonchalant, try to pick people up, because my life I always seen people kind of been down, so I try, putting some joy in their life, talk to them, make them laugh. That makes me feel good, so I try doing that on the field. The past 2 years, I think I either try not being myself, trying to be maybe a 3-star receiver that came in one of those, high talented guys. I tried not being myself, but again, Coach JB did a great job teaching me to be me, have fun. I really do love this sport. That's what I've been doing, having fun. When the ball comes to me or not, blocking, catching, special teams, whatever. I just have fun playing this sport, and that's what I'm going to plan on keep doing.
Yeah, overall, Sean, really good dude, and it's been fun to watch him. He had 3 catches last year. He's already got, I believe, 7 through 2 games, so awesome to watch.
Shawnee B, baby. Good dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up. We're almost to episode 100. We got to figure out what we're going to do for the show on that. We're about 20 away now, 2021, but definitely excited to have you on the team, man, and looking forward to keep making content for you guys. So appreciate y'all tuning in to the Highway 49 podcast. We'll be back soon.
Roll Niners, baby.